I wish you all a very good afternoon. Welcome to the post-lunch session. We have an extremely important topic in line with the context that we had set out in the morning. And since we are running a little bit of late behind time, I'll straight away get into the session. We have a very strong panel today. We have Mr. A.K. Pradhan, the Joint Drugs Controller, CDS CEO. We have the Joint Chief Executive Officer, Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, Mr. Amgotu Sri Ranganaik. We have Mr. Rajeev YSR, the Strategic Advisor, Investment and Policy, Government of Andhra Pradesh. We have Mr. Sudarshan Jain, Secretary General, Indian Pharmaceutical Association, IPA. We have Mr. Vivek Saigal, Director General, the OPPI, the Organization of Pharmaceutical Producers of India, and Dr. Azadar Khan, Senior Vice President, India, Regulatory Affairs and Corporate Relationships, Sun Pharmaceuticals. You know, it's such a strong and balanced mix of both industry as well as government colleagues. And at the outset, therefore, I will request Mr. Now I will invite Mr. Rajeev YSR, who represents the government of Andhra Pradesh. Thanks.
Can we have the slides, please? Very good afternoon. If you are really angry with somebody, invite him as a speaker right after lunch. That's the reason I made sure that I develop a good rapport with Mr. Kamath, right? So there are two challenges. One challenge is to tell you how the state of Andhra Pradesh has been consistently ranked #1 in terms of ease of doing business. And the second challenge is to keep you as much engaged and alive through this conversation. And I strongly believe in the law of conservation of energy, which says that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but transforms from one to another. So if I were to stay energetic and enthusiastic here, you know your job. Yes? Perfect. This is, I think, enough time for you to set the presentation. Otherwise, please talk to Swati and get that running, please. Well, I really like the road and then the note that was given by the CII to me. Can India be a developed nation by 2047? Well, without necessarily taking offense, may I ask, are there anybody in their late 60s or early 70s here? Let us assume there would be. Are there anybody who are in their early 16s, 17s? Let us also assume they are here. There is one thing that is common between both of them. Do you know what? The 60s and 70s would have read in their textbooks that India was a developing nation, and then the 16s and 17s are reading the same. If we were to change that sentence in the textbook, the responsibility is on all of us who are here. And I'm here today to encourage that we have both the ability, capability, and the opportunity in front of us to change the destination of the country, and in fact, make India a developed nation, not to wait really till 2047. But even much earlier than that. So with this, I am Rajeev YSR. I carry a chief minister and a prime minister in my name, so I better behave really to live up to their expectations. And I represent the state of Andhra Pradesh. I head the investments and promotions under the Economic Development Board, which is chaired by our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu. And there are certain interesting aspects that I've brought to tell you. Only thing is I need the assistance of the presentation. Okay. But having said that, there are few highlights of the state and the policies that I would like to talk to you and share with you. And I'm not going to leave you until you start the presentation. Yeah, I know you are alive and you are laughing. Good. Do you know that the state of Andhra Pradesh is one of those states which has got 3 industrial corridors running through the state? The Vizag-Chennai, the Chennai-Bangalore, and then the Bangalore-Hyderabad. And it is also a state with the second longest coastline of 974 kilometers. Now, why is it that I'm sharing these things? Because in the 80s, we saw one mafia called the computer mafia, where companies such as Infosys, Wipro, Mindtree, L&T, etc. were born. And you know where they have positioned our nation in the global canvas. Well, we thought that's all. And in 2000s came another mafia, the mafia of e-commerce, the Flipkarts, the Big Baskets, the Amazons of India. And they are rightly positioning it now. And if at all there is a mafia that is emerging now in 2020s, the beauty here is the number of mafias every 20 years are increasing, and then the time frame for the dent that they're able to create in the world is also coming down. So now we are talking about life sciences mafia, a semiconductors mafia, and an electric vehicle mafia. Do you agree with me? So now when these come together and then start positioning India on the global canvas, I have absolutely no doubt in making that statement from this stage that India would soon be a developed nation. Yes? If you agree, I do not mind if you can clap and show your agreement with me. That's a great job, CII. Okay. Don't worry, I'm not going to eat much of your time. But my job here is to present to you the state of Andhra Pradesh in a very, very different way so that the industry, the academia, and my fellow government colleagues also will find it exciting. Well, I was just wondering, what is this life sciences doing? And is my assumption of this mafia being able to create the dent true? Then I came across these articles. In fact, the Indian share rise by 1%, and it was because of this pharma. Now clap for yourself. If at all you come from the industry, right? Yeah. And we are continuing to position India on the global canvas, especially from the times of COVID, in a way that nobody could assume. So this is all, I have covered it. So this is the mafia that I was talking about. This is the second mafia. Now let me talk about the state of Andhra Pradesh. Yes, few things that I've already spoken. But the interesting reason why I have been here is that we are the only state who have been ranked consistently #1 in terms of ease of doing business. While I was doing my graduation at IIT Madras, one of my maths professors made this statement. If any coin flips on the same side by probability more than 7 times, then the coin is biased. So I'm just waiting for those 3 years and then 3 more achievements to say that yes, the weights are in the favor of the state of Andhra Pradesh. Now, there are reasons why that's happening. Now, as Mr. Pradhan mentioned, deemed to be approved as 30 days. While the nation follows a 30 days of deemed to approval, we follow 21 days. In fact, our average number of days from the submission of DPR to the conclusion, whether it is yes or no, we don't believe in keeping things in wait. We do not want to develop chief follow-up officers. We really want chief executive officers, right? I understand there are some smiles there. Okay. So our average days are only 11. Now, not just that, you do not have to run from pillar to post. This is very much important for a industry like yours, where you have a lot of environmental clearances to be taken. Everything is handled through one single desk, and our single desk is integrated with the nation's single desk. That's with Invest India. So that's how progressive the state are, and that's how those reforms that have been brought in. And whether it is in terms of electric connection and construction permits, labor, etc., those are given. Now, while those are all great, but I know that the investors and the industry always look for moolah, the ROI. Well, let me tell you that the state of Andhra Pradesh has got progressive industrial policies where we not only focus upon the ease of doing business, but we also focus equally upon the ease of reduced cost of business. When I said that, we have an industrial policy. On top of it, we have sector-specific policies. And on top of it, we have geography-specific policies too. So let me quickly highlight a few of those policies, right, which really excite them. In terms of the power cost, while the industry standards are at around 6.5 rupees, the state of Andhra Pradesh is at INR 4.5 in certain cases. In terms of water, in terms of land, in terms of even the monthly wages, we are many notches lower. Now, these are the 3 industrial corridors that I'm talking about, and the state has 6 airports and 6 water ports. We have additional 3 airports and the seaports to be added. Very recently, in the last month, our Chief Minister inaugurated the Ramayapatnam port, because the Chennai port and then the Krishnapatnam port are already now operating at their cusp, at their saturation. And now we are developing an alternate port here. Now, why? Because I'm sure if India to be emerging as the world's #1 country in terms of national economy, we have a lot of exports, imports to be taken, and then you have the entire coast of 974 kilometers for you to explore and to flourish. Not just that, even in terms of the country's prime project of Gati Shakti, out of 35 multimodal logistics parks, 6 fall in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Out of 80 multimodal cargo terminals, which means the rail freights, right, directly get into the industry parks, we have around 4 operational out of Andhra Pradesh. Now, why is this? Now, because of these progressive reforms that we have taken, because of these consistent efforts to remain, it is not difficult to be ranked number 1. Being a ranker at my school, I know, I have experienced. The most difficult thing is to maintain that. And we are very much, I would say, aware of that particular fact, and that's how we have been doing it. And this is just a quick snapshot for you on how diversified we are in terms of industries as well as in terms of countries when it is about their investments in the state. Now, this, I think, would be of great and most important slide for you. Now, if you see on the north, a beautiful place called Visakhapatnam, from where I come from, your entire pharma and life sciences hub is situated around that. Well, going a little bit into the presentation, I will talk about the Andhra Pradesh MedTech zone. You know what that particular zone has done? During the times of COVID, when the entire country is suffering, the zone started distributing or producing 1 million RT-PCR test kits per day. Well, this is not exaggeration. This is what it has been. And we were able to build the entire structure in less than 365 days, and to be precise, 342 days. And it's an acre of 300 acres where 100+ startups who are really striving hard in solving some of the problems which could benefit the nation at large. Now, let me come to your specific ecosystem. Now, the blue highlighted ones are some of the, I would say, clusters which are building the life sciences and then the pharma ecosystem. Well, I do not want to spend much time on the numbers. That is for you to kind of look at it. But let me tell you that some of the major players, right, some of the sponsors here also already exist in our state. And if there are definitely biggies who are not yet here, I take this opportunity. Please ensure that I add your logo in my next presentation, whatever you need, as we are extending the ease of doing business to the rest of the sectors. We do not mind extending it to the life sciences. I was talking to Mr. Kamath. I was asking him, if I were to ask, what are those 2 to 3 things that you expect from a state government's perspective? And I also gave an example. A semiconductor industry needs a lot of water, and it needs uninterrupted power supply, and most importantly, the skilled manpower. And he's resonated, that's all we need. Of course, he also spoke about the right common water effluent treatment plants and waste management, which I'm going to talk about. So I was very much encouraged because all the solutions already exist in the state. Probably there was never an opportunity for somebody to come and then share that good news with you, which I'm doing right now. Let me talk about those specific points where this particular issue has been raised. For the first time, AP Environment Management Corporation Limited, which is again completely handled by the government of Andhra Pradesh, it takes up the responsibility of complete waste recycling, right from the collection to the transport to the storage to the treatment and disposing them very, very safely. Now, these are all certain numbers for you. We have 2,683 waste generators, 86 waste receivers, and the rest of the things you can see there. Now, we also have the common effluent treatment plants, and we also have the TSDFs, and they're running at full capacity, and we have plans to further, I would say, expand these capacities if it is, and make it even more comfortable to you. Now, let me quickly talk about the industrial policy. Certain things are for given. Say, for example, your reimbursement in terms of net SGST for the next couple of years, given. Your registration stamp duties, given. In terms of, and then not just that, basis the kind of investment and the employment you create, we categorize you under mega and ultra large projects. And when you are there, then you are a special customer. Everything can be customized. You ask what you want and we shall provide you that. Now, why is it that I'm making such bold statements is because we strongly believe that for any industry to flourish, apart from the right policy intervention, the immediate business off-takers are also very important. If you look at the state of Andhra Pradesh, we are very proud to say that 108 service that we see all, and then we have been witnessing the great success story. The birth of it happened in the state of Andhra Pradesh by our late Chief Minister, Shri YS Rajeev YSR. The focus on health has been the same since then. For example, if you look at YSR Kanti Velugu program, or you look at other infrastructure development programs, or All of these are indicators that if at all you come and then set up your shop, the government itself is going to be your first customer, and those are your immediate business offtakes. Now, let me come to the point which, of course, I have already covered. The only message, if at all you were to remember out of multiple things that I spoke about, remember that if at all you're looking for a right place to really experience the ease of doing business, not just to read in the articles and news, but experience and then be part of the success story, come to the state of Andhra Pradesh. And again, minimum cost business, etc., approvals, industries, services, inspections, and our ranking across different indexes is already there. And with this, I bring this great news to you from the state of Andhra Pradesh. And I bring greetings from our Chief Minister, Sri Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu, from our Industrial Minister, Sri Amarnath Govind Garu, and also the rest of the government. Once again, CII, thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. And I somehow believe that I was able to keep you alive and enthusiastic till now. No or yes or? Perfect, perfect. That's great. And thank you very much. And very soon, very soon, we are going to organize one roundtable, CEO ministerial roundtable in the life sciences industry. My cards are exhausted, so you may make a note of it. It is Rajeev, RAJEEV .YSR at apedb.co.in, Andhra Pradesh Economic Development Board.co.in. Please stay in touch. We are conducting a CEO ministerial roundtable where we would like to take your inputs in even closed room without the intervention of media or any other, I would say, agencies. And we want to build a policy that suits your requirement, not from our comfort zone. With this is Rajeev YSR, Head Investments and Promotions, the state of Andhra Pradesh, signing off for today. Thank you very much and all the very best.
Thank you so much, Rajeev. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks a lot for such a passionate, comprehensive articulation. Sounded more like a corporate presentation than a government presentation. So, yeah. No wonder Andhra Pradesh is consistently the #1 state in the country with respect to ease of doing business. Is Mr. Naik on the call?